Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're so excited to have you on our KCPS Homeroom show today. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different because we are taking the time to talk to students, talk to kids from around different school districts in the area about how they feel about the upcoming year. We are so excited to talk to you today, ladies and gentlemen. And first, wanted to start off as we get the program started with you introducing yourself and where you go to school. So, Ben, will you start, please? Who you are, what year you're going to be, and where you go to school?
Hi, I'm Benjamin Lahan. I'm a senior at Center High School. And
Soccer player, cross country runner. What do
oh
you do
yeah,
for sports?
yeah. I run cross country and do track. So I'm very active in the community.
Yes, and I know you've run cross country for a long time as a senior. Are you running cross country right now?
So it's very interesting. So like, I personally am not competing this year, but I am still staying back and like, as the captain, I'm trying to like, just keep the team and kind of the main core stuff together just throughout this year. So if we just make it through next year, I'll be happy and satisfied.
Okay, great. Welcome to the show, Ben. We're glad to have you and really happy to see you. And I know that Center has already started, Center School District already started school. So, how many days have you been in school so far?
We've been in school for about a week and a half. We started not this Wednesday, but like last Wednesday. So we've been in for about 10, 8 days.
Okay,
8 days.
great. Well, so you at Center High School, you and Madison are the only students on our call who've actually started school. So we'll be eager to talk to you and see how your experience is going so far. Lila, you're next. Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Lila Shrum. I go to Hawthorne. I'm a fifth grader, and I'm in the Park Hill School District.
And you're a soccer player. We could tell by your jersey there. Tell us about your soccer team.
Well, actually, I just switched to a KC Athletics team, and I actually have a game this weekend. I have a tournament this weekend.
Excellent. And you're a midfielder, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, good luck in your tournament this weekend. All right. Next, Arietta. Arietta, can you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Arietta. I go to the Park Hill School District at Hawthorne Elementary School,
What grade are you going to be in?
fourth grade.
Fourth grade. Who's your teacher this year, Arietta?
What was her name? Her name is Miss Alexander.
I'm so excited for you. And you start school on Tuesday, right?
Yep.
All right. You're going to be a fantastic fourth grader. Next, Madison, you want to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Madison Cunningham, and I'm in the Center School District. I'm at Center High School, and I'm a junior.
What are you doing this year, Madison, for outside extracurricular activities?
I play volleyball, but unfortunately, our season has been postponed to the spring. So I'm just chilling at home for a little bit.
Yeah, well, we'll hopefully recover your season as we get to the spring. But yes, I know you're a volleyball player, and I'm excited to see you play, hopefully, as we get to the spring season. Thanks for the introduction. And then last but not least, Mr. James McGee. Introduce yourself, please.
Well, my name is James McGee. Like Ms. Wachel just said, I'm a senior at Lincoln Prep this year, which is in the Kansas City School District. Yeah.
All right. And James, tell this group, you're kind of the resident involved advisor, student, crew of almost everything. You're very present for your classmates, for your friends, for your teachers even. Tell us about what that is for you about being present in your school district.
So, I don't play a sport, so I'm very active in the school scene. I try to represent as many people as I possibly can if they have a problem, because a lot of people feel like they can't go speak to people in positions that can change things. So I try to be that bridge to bridge that gap together, as well as I'm very involved in student council.
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining us, James. We're happy to have you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to get started?
Yes.
All right, let's do this. So my first question for you is very easy, and I hope it's very easy for you. I just want to hear from you guys one word about what you're thinking or feeling as we started or get ready to start this school year. So one word about how you feel as we get ready to start this school year. And I don't want to call on you, so if you're ready, you can just tell me.
I'm just excited.
Lila says excited. Who's next?
I'm also excited.
Aria is excited too. Excellent.
Trigger.
Trigger. Okay. Okay. That's a good point. Thanks, James.
I'd say I'm optimistic.
I'd say challenging.
Challenging. Yes. So thank you for sharing those. And I think Benjamin, challenging. I think that's kind of on all of our minds right now is how we're going to approach this year with some different modifications and adjustments. And actually, while we're doing this, why don't we go ahead and have you guys tell us what learning style or what learning mode you're doing as you choose this year. So Lila, as you're going to be at Hawthorne Elementary in Park Hill, what kind of learning style or learning mode are you going to be in? You're going to be in person, is that right?
Yeah.
So tell us about being in person. What does that mean to go? Are you going to have to wear your face masks? So tell us a little bit about that.
So we had pictures of how the desks are going to look. They have them all spread out so they don't have like tables necessarily anymore. And everyone has to wear their mask. They're going to have staggered lunch times. And so I think everyone's being really careful about it.
Do you think that it's going to be easy for you guys as kids to really work in that environment and just kind of adjust? Tell us what you think is going to be easy or hard about that.
Well, I think it really just depends on who it is. But I think for me personally, I think I've been wearing my mask a lot because when I go to soccer and stuff, and if I go anywhere, like I'm just wearing my mask. So I think for me personally, it'll be pretty easy. But I don't know about everyone.
Do you take your lunch or do you eat lunch at school? What do you think about lunch?
I'm definitely going to be taking my lunch. I always have, but I just think I'm especially going to do it this year.
Sounds like a plan. Arietta, you're going to be in person at Hawthorne Elementary too. What do you think about being in person and how you're going to be in person wearing your mask and your desk spread out at Hawthorne Elementary there in Park Hill?
Well, I am a little sad that I have to wear masks and keep distance because some of my best friends go to this school and I won't be able to make up handshakes or do any of that kind of fun stuff I got to do last year. I'm also excited that we actually get to do school. At first I thought we were just going to do homeschool all year. So I'm a little excited too.
Yeah, so you'll have a chance to be with your friends, be with your teachers, all of your specials, recess and lunch, and do that in person. But you'll have a little bit different, like with your masks and maybe not be able to do your handshakes. I understand that. But I think for you, being in fourth grade, I love your attitude about just being with your friends and your teachers. And I love that you're approaching it that way. It might be a little bit different, but you still get to be with them and learn in an environment that's very caring and very thoughtful about how you're going about it.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so Madison and Benjamin, you're both at Center High School. Tell us what your year is looking like so far and what learning mode you're in.
So we're all virtual right now. So everything's on the computer. We have different groups. So there's A and B groups. So I'm a part of B group. So I go to school on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then we all have half days on Fridays. So today we're in class for only 30 minutes. So on a regular day, we'd be in class for an hour and 30 minutes. And we get 10-minute breaks in between each class. So
yeah, do you feel like the schedule's working out for you as far as the amount of time on screen, your amount of breaks to kind of recoup and get geared up for your next class? Is the schedule going well for you so far?
I do believe it's going well. The breaks, I don't know if it's just me, but they seem to go by so fast, but maybe it's just because the classes are so long. I try to get like chill out on the couch or just play on my phone for a little bit so I can get ready to get to my next class and focus.
So like our district, we like gathered a task force and we had students, teachers, staff, parents, and we all try to like work out the best way we could um, schedule the schools. So like we're all starting out virtual right now, and so we've had to change up our schedule to fit what we're gonna hopefully do is a blended model later on. So that's why we have A and B groups. That's why we have long class times, and so we're just all trying to figure it out and just slowly see if we can implement it later on if new information comes out.
Thanks, Benjamin. Thanks, Madison. James, so you're going to be starting in distance model or virtual model. Tell us about your upcoming approach for the school year.
So I chose distance. So basically, whenever the school district deems that it's time for phase 4, I'll be able to go back to school, whether that's this semester or next semester. For next week's schedule, since we start on Tuesday, we have 25-minute classes and we'll have a regular lunch, and then I think we get out around 2, if I'm not mistaken. And then Wednesday is more like a block day where we have an advisory and we talk to our teachers about tutoring and what other issues we might have.
Good. James, what are you anticipating as you start via distance learning models next week?
I'm anticipating that teachers are going to be enthusiastic to see us, and I'm also anticipating that I'm going to have to find a new study method so that I can concentrate a little more, especially being in a home full of siblings. So I'm looking forward to that and just exploring myself a little more in my own educational path.
Great. Well, thank you all for describing what your learning environments are going to be like in your different schools and different school districts. One of the things that we're hearing students across the metro region talk about is some of their worries as they're going to be either in person like Lila and Arietta, or virtual like Benjamin and Madison, and then distance learning like James is going to be. Can you guys talk a little bit about what you're worried about as we approach this year? And then we'll get to maybe how we can help alleviate some of those worries. But what are you guys worried about as we start this year?
I'm gonna start with the more surface level stuff, more like definitely senior year issues, like not being able to go to senior breakfast, possibly, or not having homecoming. Well, we're probably not gonna have homecoming, but also probably not having courtwarming, and just missing certain senior traditions that we have every year and been waiting so long to get here to do it and not being able to do it. I think also a big issue is going to be tutoring and students feeling like they are not. I feel like they might feel like they're more isolated because we are at home and they don't feel like they can reach out to teachers as much as they would say they could just walk into the classroom during lunch to ask for help.
Thank you all for your responses so far. I wanted to take a moment to introduce one of our new panelists. Malia Bradley is on the panel now. Malia is going to be a 6th grader at Truce Elementary here in the Kansas City Public School District. Malia, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Well, my name is Malia Bradley, first of all, and I go to Truce Elementary School, and I'm going to 6th grade, and I feel really excited to go to 6th grade.
I think that was a good introduction. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm going to ask you in a little bit why you think you're different from other children, and we'll explore that a little bit. So thank you for sharing that. Malia, right now we're talking about some of our worries, what we're worried about as we approach this year. So if you want to say a little bit about what you're worried about, to share that on camera.
Well, truly, I'm kind of not worried about a lot of things, but being on camera, because I'm actually kind of camera shy a little bit.
Okay, well, you look great. You sound great too. You shouldn't be shy about that. So tell us more. You're a little bit worried about being on camera. Are you going to be on camera for your classes this year?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a desk set up in your home or something where you're going to be working from?
Yes, in my room.
Okay. So you're worried about being on camera a little bit, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, well, hopefully after that first week of you being on camera, you'll get very used to it and it'll be a little bit easier and more comfortable for you. You're already doing a very good job.
Thank you.
All right. Lila, did you say what you're worried about yet?
No, I'm a little worried about like because we still are gonna have. They said that we still have like recess, and we still have like we go to the cafeteria for lunch, and we still have like art and like all of our and music and stuff. And so I'm a little bit worried about like how we're gonna keep everything sanitized, and like if we can't have like the ball cart, or like we can't all go on. I don't know necessarily what we'd even do at recess, or like how we all fit in the cafeteria. I'm just like a little worried about that. Then I'm also kind of worried about like how I'm gonna go from doing this in fifth grade to sixth grade, because I feel like it's gonna be really different already. Plus, like, just I think it's gonna be really different, and I'm a little worried about it.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that, Lila. I think those are really valid, again, valid worries. But I really have confidence in your teachers and your special teachers, in your classroom, and also in your lunchrooms to really navigate that well for you, so that you guys can ease some of those worries and feel really comfortable while you're at school. Arietta, what are you worried about for this year? Or do you have any worries? Maybe you don't.
Well, I am a little worried since I used to be in third grade. I don't really know what to expect to be a fourth grader quite yet. And I don't know if the fourth grade teachers are going to be a bit different than my third grade teacher. And I just don't know what to expect. So I'm a little worried if, like, I don't know what kind of math they're talking about or what kind of reading they're kind of talking about. Just worried what to expect.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Lila, can you give Arietta some words of wisdom since you had the teacher that she's going to have this year? Can you maybe alleviate some of her worries about that?
Yeah, the math. Miss Alexander is like really like if you need help, you can just go up and ask her, and she has math groups, so she'll help you. And if you need something for math, then you can just tell her and she'll help you. She's a really good teacher. I really like her, so I wouldn't be worried about that because she's definitely a really good math teacher especially.
Good to know.
All right, thanks, Lila, for being a mentor to her and helping her understand that she's going to have a great teacher, and you've come before her and gave her great advice. Thank you for giving that to her. Madison, Benjamin, what are you guys worried about?
I say I'm worried about being focused. There's not too much going around my house, but virtual learning, I don't struggle with it, but I'd rather be in a classroom with other people, getting help, and just kind of interacting with others. I'm also worried about taking the test, but I don't know how that's gonna look.
Yeah, my worries are a bit more district wide. So I know but this is a lot from me having to work with a lot of other people in the district and organizing a plan. I have mostly it's worries about safety, health, internet access, mental health access. Those are like my main focuses. It's not schooling is definitely a big issue, and we're trying to get as many people, learning as effectively as possible. But I want to make sure the district as a whole is healthy, not even just physically, but also mentally. So I've tried to put more emphasis on that when we were organizing it. So my main worries again are just food access, internet access, mental health access, just keeping everybody safe.
So you're thinking about the well-being and the wholeness of the community right now, right, Benjamin?
Yes, that's mostly what I've been thinking about.
So do you at Center School District, Center High School, are you guys aware of your feeding programs and how you're distributing food to your community right now? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So we are like having it set up where we have at all our elementary schools around the district, there's going to be times where they can come in and get the food they need, and then they can leave. And for a while, throughout the summer, we were having it near our warehouses at the district. We were distributing food packages and all sorts of stuff in food boxes to a lot of different families. He's having people go out and distribute it. And so we've been doing as much as we can to give healthy and plenty of food.
Thank you. James, have you seen our Kansas City Public Schools buses in your neighborhoods delivering food as we start this school year? Are you aware of that program here in KCPS?
Yes. I'm aware of it, but I'm not sure exactly how it works. I do know that they stop in front of certain areas in the city, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we're calling it the Meals on the Bus program. So in Kansas City Public Schools, we're actually using our bus fleet to distribute meals in our neighborhoods every day from 10-ish, 11-ish to 1-ish, 2-ish, depending on the schedules and the route. So we're driving through neighborhoods and make sure that our kids are fed. During that lunchtime, we'll provide breakfast and lunches. And where our teachers are going to give our kids a break around the lunchtime so they can go out and get that food if they need to. So Madison, we are giving our kids a little bit longer break than 10 minutes at some of those levels so that they can go out and receive their meals if they need to. All right, so another question for you guys as we're talking about our worries. Some of you said you were excited for your one-word choice that you used when you introduced yourself. What do you think are going to be the advantages of this school year? What can we take advantage of?
Time spent with family most of the time.
So being with your family a little bit more is an advantage or maybe an unintended consequence that you're looking forward to with this. Great. What about any of you other students? Any other folks want to contribute to that question? What are you looking? What an advantage? What's an advantage as we approach this school year?
I think that online school is a little less challenging for me, just because I think it was a little faster and I just had a little less work. So I'm excited. I think it'll be better for me to actually be able to go to school and like be taught in a classroom.
Yeah, so Lila, you did the virtual like we all did last spring, but now in Park Hill as an elementary student, you have the option to go in person. And so you think one of the great advantages is that you get to be back with your friends and your teachers in person and having that everyday routine of being in school, right? Arietta, what do you think is an advantage for this year?
Well, I think like right now, because we're not in school, we should enjoy the last couple days and spend time with your family. And I think we should just enjoy the last couple days of summer, unless you're still you're in school.
So maybe an advantage is that some of us have had a little bit longer summer breaks, right?
Yep.
Good. So. All right. Thanks for sharing that, Arietta. Madison, did you have an advantage to this year that you think of?
Yes. I've been told this a lot, and I tell people that I'm virtually learning. I'm very prepared to go into college and the independence that you have to have to get to your own classes, and especially if you take online classes, nobody's going to be there to be like, oh, you have a class at this time and that and that. You need to be able to if you have to set timers on your phone, be able to remember, and that's what I've been doing lately. I make sure I have my schedules out, make sure I have timers on my phone so I'm not late, and just
the independence and that kind of self-pacing is really good for you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. Anyone else want to share what you think are advantages to these learning styles and learning modes that we're approaching this year?
Yeah, I would actually think long term this could actually be good because I think it'll work out inefficiencies. So, like, for example, I know we were kind of okay with mental health, but since that's at forefront, we could probably make that last longer, as well as just in learning styles. For example, I think we'll learn. All right, what is very essential that we need to learn, and what is the best way we can do it. And you're seeing it from all sorts of different sides, so it gets broken down and then rebuilt into probably one of a better learning style, and how do we teach? How do we make sure the kids are doing their stuff, doing their work, filling out homework, And so I think it'll be good for all of us to like see, okay, here's what works best for me. Here's the teaching style that works best for just in general. So I think it's a great opportunity to improve what we have.
Great comments. Our superintendent and some of our teaching staff, and I've even heard kids talk a little bit about how this is reimagining education for all of us. So you're about these new opportunities, allowing us to reimagine a little bit and work out those inefficiencies and be better for kids all around. James, what do you think?
I think the biggest advantage that we're going to have, not only just right now, but later on in life, is the adaptability that we've had to maintain. Just learning how to work with different learning styles, especially for us kids that feel like we need teachers in person to learn, but we're adapting so that we can be more successful, and that's going to help us later on in life. And I think that's the biggest advantage that we can have.
I would second that, and I love hearing you as a student say that, James, because again, as you adjust, as we modify, it is allowing you guys to be flexible, have a little bit of grace and patience with us as adults, and then us reinforcing that grace and patience back to you as students. So thank you for sharing that. I'm really excited about that opportunity, like you said, to be flexible, to go with the flow a little bit, but also to push on the tension to make sure that we're still advancing academically, emotionally, in our activities. Really appreciate you saying that.
But no more snow days.
Yeah, that's a great point. We will be able to do school from home on snow days. So, all right. One of the other things I wanted to ask you all is we've talked about our worries, some of our advantages that we'll have in these learning modes. What are your friends saying about how school is going to go this year? What are you hearing from the people who are your friends or who you go to school with?
My friends, they're making it like before COVID. It like they were just making it a joke. Like they didn't know what to do. They did not expect this to happen, especially. And my friends, most of them, they're going to do like online school. I probably won't get to see them all the time. So, yeah.
Good comments. Good comments. What else? What else from you all on this chat and this conversation? What are your friends thinking right now? What are your friends feeling?
Since my friends are mostly athletes, a lot of them are very upset. Well, not upset right now because our district was allowed us to play sports on a safety basis, but a lot of the winter sports kids are starting to get worried now, especially when it's about to go back into cold and flu season. And also, kids that I know that's in debate that are wondering how the format's going to look for us to do extracurricular activities that's more in person versus like a sport that you can spread kind of out to do. And I think also a lot of kids, being a senior, just normal senior worries on top of COVID worries.
I'm pretty sure that some of my friends are staying home, but I think everyone that's going to school is being pretty cautious, but is still like really excited about being able to come back because I think like me, most of my friends like are missing their friends and like are pretty excited to come back to school to see everyone and be in a classroom.
Well, my friends, they really miss actually going to school, and they really don't want to just see everybody on camera. They miss everybody from school, and especially miss me. They just can't handle how they can't go to school and actually see us in person and play around and on the playground and everything. They mostly miss the playground, especially playing around, running around, jumping jumping around. They mostly miss like going in the classroom, messing around with the teacher, of course, and learning and actually facing the teacher, seeing the teacher in real life.
It's been really hard for all of us throughout COVID to not be able to give a hug or give a high five, give a fist bump, just to interact with you as students, interact with our friends, right? Our teachers. And so, as we approach this, whether we're in person or whether we're virtual or distance learning, Malia, do you think that as you're going to be on camera with your students and your friends next week as we start school, what is going to be important for you, for your team, to help navigate this online learning environment for you? What do you need from your teacher right now?
That was a very good question.
Okay, we'll come back to you. So that question is for all of you. What do you guys need from your teachers right now?
Something that we need from our teachers is just to be patient with us. And the same thing, like coming from them, they probably want us to be patient because I know a lot of our teachers aren't exactly tech savvy, and a lot of the students are trying to either help the teachers or they're trying to make sure we understand what's going on. So just to be patient.
Yes, for our teachers to have patience. Excellent. What else from you guys on the conversation? What do you need from your teachers right now?
What I need from my teacher, I need, well, I bet I need advice. Like, I don't know, like, can you come back to me?
I will come back to you, my dear, of course. Who else wants to offer what you need from your teachers right now?
Well, so far they've been like they've feel like they've been working really hard, and so I feel like that we just need them to like support us.
James, what do you need from your teachers right now?
I think the biggest thing I need really is for, like Madison said, understanding and being considerate that we're also new to this situation and that we're all going to have to grow in what we're doing so that we can be able so that we can improve ourselves to be able to function in this type of normal. And I think maybe really something that's more symbolic and more physical is teachers actually being in classrooms, doing the Zooms from class so that we can kind of feel like we're at school. I think that would help a lot.
Yes, so here in Kansas City Public Schools, yes, we are having our teachers, if they choose to do so, come into their classrooms to teach on those Zoom and platforms. So I appreciate that comment and love that you're thinking that way, James, because again, it does put that environment and put that mindset for you as students that they're in the classroom there for you, supporting you and learning with you. Ariana, do you think you have your response ready?
Yep.
Okay.
What I need from my teacher right now is support, and I really just need support right now because, like, I don't know what to expect. Like I said, when I'm worried, and I need some support from my teacher and love. And
Yes. And you're going to receive support and love from your teacher. I'm so glad you said that. Thank you for sharing that, Arietta.
you're welcome.
Anyone else want to share what you need from your teachers as we approach this school year?
Well, I think that I need more help because I'm not for really in school, so I need more help with the computer. Mostly, yes, because I'm not a whiz with the computer, and I'm not very great. So I really can't really do anything. So I need more help from the teacher, and like everybody said, more support and more, just what everybody said, more more support, more love, more patience.
And I think to hear you say that, Malia, makes me reflect and really resonate with that because our teachers, I think, want the same things from you guys, right? Patience and grace and some love and some support. So, in some ways, it's very much going to be back and forth between our teachers, between our students, realizing that all of us need some grace and patience and love and support right now. So I appreciate you guys saying that because you're not alone. You're not alone at all. Our
I,
adults want that for you guys as well.
I think I think another thing that, not even just speaking about teachers, but also counselors. We need our counselor services to be as if they were normal. And if we need to do a Zoom call with counselors, I think that they should go ahead and take that because, they say it's important for us to have a relationship with our counselors. So we need to make sure that we still have those relationships even though we're not in school.
Yes, so those wraparound services, James, counselors, social workers, school psychologists, all of those supports that we offer in our school districts are going to be very much another layer of support that our students and sometimes our teachers need. So I would encourage you as students, if you do have those extra needs, whether it's academically, emotionally, just what you need in your family or your life right now, from elementary to middle to high school, you do have counselors, school psychologists, social workers who are there to support you. And they're working right alongside our teachers to make sure that you get what you need as students, whether you're in person or you're virtual. Thanks for adding that, James. All right, so we talked about how you feel, how your teachers might be feeling, what you need from your teachers. What about your parents and your families? How are your parents feeling about all of this?
My parents, they're very protective. They want me to wear a mask everywhere I go. Maybe not everywhere I go, but most of the time, like stores and like parks and stuff like that, I have to wear masks too. But if it's like to my grandma's house, like I don't have to wear a mask there. And my parents believe that this will be soon ending, hopefully. And my parents also believe that if we keep protecting ourselves, we will keep on living our life. That's a virtue fact.
Sounds like you have some pretty awesome parents there. How else are your parents feeling, guys?
I think that my parents are happy for me because I'm really happy for going to school, and so I think they're happy for me. But they're also, I think they're a little bit nervous, just because I guess just starting school because we haven't been in school for like 6 months basically, and so like just being really careful.
So, Lila, after your first day, will you please come home and tell your parents that they don't need to be nervous and it's going to be just fine? Okay, that's a deal. Madison, how about you? How's your mom feeling?
My mom, I think she's pretty positive about the whole thing. I feel like she's hoping that everything is effective and it'll go well. And I'm pretty sure she's ready for me to get out her hair and hopefully go back to distance learning in school in person.
Ben, how are your parents feeling?
My parents are basically like, all right, we're in this for the long haul. So they're like planning all right, let's be in virtual till about to like even it's like the beginning of second semester. So they're like ready to like, okay, we can deal with this. And so they're just like trying to make sure we all keep our health through the year, and so they're happy with the virtual learning. And there are times where I've been at like troop gatherings where they may not have been quite as good about it, and so and they'll be like they'll still be trying to like, hey, let's make sure we're all masked up and distanced out. So they're definitely trying to keep me and my brother safe and making sure we're all still doing well, you know?
Who else wants to share about how your parents are feeling right now?
Well, my mother, she feels like more protective because of what everything's going on. Make sure I stay 6 feet away from somebody. Make sure, because I keep on walking forward. If she's still standing there, I asked her why she's standing there. She's like 6 feet, because I keep on walking straight. So, and make sure I actually have a mask on. Make sure everybody has a mask, and she kind of feels happy about it too, because she don't got to wake up in the morning to actually take us to school. Or if I miss the bus, she's gonna have to take me to school.
Well, in the spring when my mom couldn't go to work because she actually works with the district, she basically turned into a drill sergeant slash principal. So she converted one of the rooms in our house basically into a classroom and made us sit there and do our work. Even though I was like, well, I don't have Zoom calls every day, so I don't see the point of me waking up or whatever. But she wanted me to keep that schedule. So her biggest thing is keeping the schedule, and she's kind of died down a little bit, just giving us a little more leniency than she did in the spring. But she wants us to keep our schedule, and she just hopes that we can go back to school when it's safe.
All right, as we get into some of the last questions that I wanted to ask you as students around the Kansas City area preparing for school or already starting their school year, I wanted to have you guys leave me with some of the thoughts that we didn't get to. What are you thinking about that we didn't talk about that you're ready to see, to experience, and just to participate in as we start this school year? What are some thoughts you'd like to share with us?
So based around sports, I know there's there's a cheer team, there's our auxiliary team and band. I'm ready to see like how that's gonna look outside, in football, like in the stands where we're gonna sit, how like far we have to space out, and especially in basketball getting into winter. I know our athletic directors are kind of iffy about that. They haven't talked about it yet. They're waiting to get closer. But I'm ready to see how, if we do have those games, what that's going to look like in the bleachers.
Yep. So athletics, activities, band, debate. How do we have these extracurricular activities in which our kids love to participate and have connections to so many things? How is that going to look, and how are we going to pull those activities off?
Mm-hmm. I'm really curious about how how even just like simple things like walking into school is gonna work, because usually there's like a lot of people walking at the same time, and our hallways aren't like they're not that big necessarily. So I'm just like curious about that, but I know that Hawthorne will do a good job of that.
Yes. How are we going to walk in the halls? How are we going to go into school, get off buses, get out of the car rider line, and walk into our schools when we're all together? Those are very valid curiosities, Lila, and you'll get to see on Tuesday, and it's going to be very safe, and you're gonna get that process down pretty quickly, I bet.
I think that we should start making maybe a plan B for graduation so that we can do it in a regular time frame. And I know that sounds a little selfish, but yeah, it's a pretty big deal. So yeah, just trying to come up, maybe like they said, like they had a task force, so coming up with a task force with the community to ask how we may come up with a plan B for graduation, or what graduation may even look like for next year.
So, Jay, if you think about graduation, you talked a little bit earlier about homecoming, court warming, winter activities. So you're already thinking about graduation as a senior. Of course you are. And as we get to that, what will graduation look like? Where will we be in our gating criteria if we're back in person or not? But to your point, yes, how do we have student voice and student advice and how we approach and execute graduation this year? Good.
So I'm very interested to see a little bit reiteration of what James said because we're both seniors and I want to see like how that's going to work out. But I also want to see like how the district improves, how I'm going to improve, how some of my friends are going to improve because I think this is a great opportunity for us as to like, all right, let's see how we can move forward, And so I think that'll be amazing to see what'll happen.
Well, I'm actually very curious on what Zoom looks like because I never actually seen my class on Zoom. So I am really curious on what that's gonna look like.
Arietta, do you have any more thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are like, how is like everything going to work out? Like, how is recess going to work? Like is everything going to be blocked off? Like, no swings, no blacktop, no playground. Like, I don't know really like how recess is going to work out. How we're going to get to like how the buses are going to work out. Like, one person at one seat. I don't know. Like, and how is everything going to work? That's basically what I'm thinking about.
Okay. How's everything going to work? Well, when you get there on Tuesday, you're going to see how safe it is for you. And you get to go home that day and again tell your parents how successful it was and that we shouldn't be nervous because we're going to do this all together and make it work together as a community and as school districts.
Yeah.
All right, so team, I have one last question for you then. And it's going to be if you're going to give yourself some advice for this school year, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, and you're giving yourself some advice about this year, what's the best piece of advice you can give yourself right now?
Take time to chill out.
Take time to chill out, says James. Best piece of advice, guys. What do you want to tell yourself?
Enjoy the last few moments with your family.
Moments with your family. Excellent.
Something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you can go ahead. I was just saying.
Let's stay optimistic and
Stay optimistic. Good. Malia, did you want to offer advice to yourself?
Enjoy myself for the past till school.
Enjoy who you are.
Yeah.
I've got one last thing. See the good in the moment.
Good in the moment. That's the advice from our youngest panelist, Miss Arietta. I think that is wise and sage advice for a fourth grader. See the good in the moment.
I think that just enjoy the time with your teachers and friends.
I think for me, the main thing is just be kind and patient with myself. That's it.
Kind and patient with yourself. Well, I think you guys have great heads on your shoulders. I think you're very wise. I think you're very cognizant about where we are right now. You understand the moment, and I love seeing the advice that you're giving to yourselves. Okay. Well, you students representing Center School District, Park Hill School District, and Kansas State Public Schools make me feel awe and wonder and pride in the amount of work you're putting in and your attitudes as we approach this year. I'm very proud of you. I see that you're trying to manage. I see that you are managing. I see that you have smiles, that you have hope, you have optimism, that we're going to be in good hands as we approach the future of our society. I want to thank you for joining us. I want to thank you for your courage. I want to thank you for your attitudes again. And just say again, one more time, I'm proud of you. I appreciate you. And I think you're going to have a great year, no matter if you're in person, if you're learning virtually, or if you're learning through a distance learning model. You're going to be great because you're going to make it great yourselves. Take good care. I appreciate you. Can we all do hands in for like a team? Like hands in, everybody. Madison, I can't see your hand. Hands in. What are we going to say on the count of 3?
2021.
2021.
Jumanji.
Yeah.
Jumanji. On the count of 3, 2021. 1, 2, 3, 2021. Thank you all.
Kindergarten is great at Kansas City Public Schools.
I know they have really good teachers. I know this is a great school.
They teach them stuff that I thought my kids would never be able to know at the age of 5.
Since deciding to send our kiddos to a neighborhood school, we've become even more of a part of our community.
Now is the time to enroll your future kindergartner for the new school year. Visit enrollkc.org today.
Acquire skills I'd use in real life.
I chose manual because I want to be an ER doctor, and being an EMT is my first step.
Kickstart your future today at Manual Career and Technical Center. Manual is open for all 11th and 12th grade students in both Kansas and Missouri. Learn more today at enrollkc.org/manual or call 816-418-5200.
I love Southeast because of the culture, the band program, and restorative justice.
I love Southeast because of the academics, sports, and students.
I love Southeast because of the people, the energy, and the advanced classes.
It's not alike. I love Southeast because the students here at Southeast are full of potential and they believe in achieving anything.
We are Southeast.
Southeast.
We stand shoulder to shoulder.
Join the Southeast family. Enroll today.
The desire to create lives within each of us. From Grammy-winning producers and musicians, to NBA stars, to Navy admirals and Medal of Honor recipients, to internationally renowned artists and beloved local muralists, Paseo graduates have been creating their own success, their own history, their own legacy since 1920s.
I chose manual because it's challenging and fun, and it can help me with college.
I chose manual because I wanted to get a jump start in my career with culinary arts.
I chose manual to acquire skills I'd use in real life.
I chose manual because I want to be an ER doctor, and being an EMT is my first step.
Kickstart your future today at Manual Career and Technical Center. Manual is open for all 11th and 12th grade students in both Kansas and Missouri. Learn more today at enrollkc.org/manual or call 816-418-5200.